Shame and guilt has become an epidemic of our modern world. Shame and guilt are the lowest and debilitating feelings we ever have to deal with in our day-to-day life. I am going to explain to you how you can overcome those horrible thought and feeling of guilt and shame. I can teach you the different strategies that you can stop to feel shame and guilt and stop from having them control your life so you can be free and you can be happy. What is the definitions of shame? Well, shame can be defined as a feeling of embarrassment, a feeling of humiliating, a feeling that arises in relation to the perceptions of us doing something that is dishonorable, embarrassing, immoral, improper. You know, when people feel shame, they drop their head down. They cannot make eye contact with any other people. They often feel blush or become so embarrassed. They feel this awful sense of shame. The definitions of guilt is described as a self-conscious emotions that involve negative evaluations of the self, feeling of distress, feeling of failure, and feeling of self-blame. Why are we feeling that? Why are we feeling even more guilt and shame than ever before? Well, both shame and guilt are a perceptions, and years ago, we could hide away. Our every move wasn't on social media. We could escape. And now it becomes harder and harder to get away from the feeling of guilt and shame because we are now comparing ourselves to other people. No one else does that. No one else messed up. No one else has done that. You know now that social media, people can do shaming. We hear of revenge porn. And people putting up pictures that are not even you with your face on them to make you feel shameful, to make you feel embarrassed, to make you feel horrible. So it is other people's perceptions. After all, if no one knew you did anything wrong, if no one ever knew, you might feel less guilty and less shameful. It is easy to make a child feel ashamed. Shame for liking their body, shame for touching themselves, shame for not being clean enough. Childhood trauma can leave us tremendous guilt and shame. The shame is over something we did. The society thing is wrong. And the guilt is I took money from my mom's purse. I cheat in the exam. I feel so guilty. So our biggest shame comes from childhood trauma. We did something in the past and we should be deeply, deeply embarrassed about. And then we have the pressure of the social media because we have more observation, more judgment than ever before. And we have guilt about how we are. I feel so guilty I don't visit my parents. I feel so guilty I have my third baby and my sister can't even have her own. I feel so guilty that I lost all the money. It is important to understand everyone can feel it. I feel guilty I eat too much. I have got more than someone else. I took a minute right now, think about you feel shameful and guilty about. Why do you feel that way? What is it all about? Who taught you to feel that way? My mother generations never talk about sex and periods. My generations, I'll go, oh yeah, I got my period today. My mother doesn't understand a lot of the things today that were normal. That's important to understand where it comes from. Who taught you this shame and guilt? Was it a generational thing? When I was in my 20s, there was tremendous sense of guilt and shame. When a girl got pregnant before getting married, But nowadays, there's no shame about being a single parent. Different people feel different shame and guilt in different culture, in different environment. You need to take a look at why you feel that. Explore it. Cure come from curiosity. Get curious. Why would you feel shame? Why would you feel guilty? Get curious about those feelings, those emotions. Getting curious, you can cure your feeling of guilt and shame. Where does it come from? Who gave it to you? What did they believe? Why do you carry with you? Is it external pressure? Is it self-doubt? Look at how you can make amends to yourself. This is how it looks like. When I was 10, I cheated in my exam. Why did you do that? I want to impress my parents. I want to impress my teachers. I want to impress everyone. I don't need to do that anymore. I stole some money when I was a kid. I wouldn't do that again. If anything you are feeling guilty about a behavior, you don't do that today. You would not repeat it again. If you would not repeat anything that make you ever feel guilty, guess what? Guess what? You learn something. You enhance your education. You can get over it. So go easy with yourself. Be kind. Be compassionate with yourself. Be your best friend. Forgive yourself for making a mistake. A person who never make a mistake is a person who never make anything. You can learn in life by making mistakes. So use the guilt, use the shame as a lesson and turn it into something positive. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself completely and feel grateful that you get the second chance. Here is a thing. You are allowed to make a mistake. You are supposed to forgive yourself. This is how you learn. And if you're not allowed to, and you are not allowed to beat yourself up, hurt your body, or even punish yourself for being a human being and making a mistake. We are flawed. People living in a flawed life. Everything in life is a learning experience. We look at it, extract it, and replace it with something better. I have helped people overcome the most deep-rooted blocks. It helped them step into their full potential and give them the freedom and empowerment. So, get out of the victim mentality. Stop beating yourself up. Let go of the guilt and shame. If you need help to learn how to get rid of them, connect with me. Drop me a comment, and I'll see you in my next video.